Now then, welcome back to Budget Bangers. It's been a good while, been very busy, so I have to apologise for that. My life's a bit hectic at the minute with work, and my wife's expecting our first child, so everything's very mad at the minute. But I thought I'd get this one out to show you. The little Fiesta is now finished. It's now MOT'd. A couple of advisories on the MOT, but that's not the end of the world. I think it was only a subframe corroded, which is to be expected on a car like this. A brake pipe, and there was something else, I think. Can't for the life of me remember, but nothing major. But yeah, we'll have a little look around and we'll see how it's come up, because this has come up an absolute gem. As you can tell straight off the bat, new bumper, all painted, looking lovely. Not the best job in the world, but for an 05 car being painted on my driveway, it's alright. And then the wing as well. You can see there's a very slight difference in colour. That's not the end of the world. Obviously I've repaired the bonnet myself. If you catch it in the light, every now and then you can kind of see where the repair's been done, but again, I think it's more than acceptable for the kind of car it is. Really, it looks fantastic to me. Well, a couple of little bits that I've done cosmetically. Obviously new wheel trims, stone chip behind them as well to make them look nice. The bottom of this wing was starting to rust a little bit, so what I did is taped it off, stone chipped it, and then I've brushed on some of the paint to kind of match it with colour. It's not it doesn't look the best, but it looks better than rust if you ask me. Overall, the car itself, I gave a bit of a machine polish over. You've still got your little marks here and there, and it's had a good few touch-ins, but it does look a lot better. There was a dent on this corner as well, which I've got out. If you catch it in the light, you can kind of make it out, and there's still a bit of a dent here because the inner structure goes too far into that and you can't get into it. But I managed to get this bit out here, and no paint needed. I've impressed myself with that. I actually did this off some tips because I watch Vice Grip Garage, and they did an episode where they were showing how to do bodywork, and I got some good techniques for getting dents out off there. You can see obviously as well, it's got a few scratches here and there on the bumper corner. I have tried to touch them in a little bit, tidy the car up a little bit. I wasn't searching for perfection, because at the end of the day it's an 05 car. It's never going to be perfect. Plus, we'll make that perfect, we're going to have to start chasing things like these little dings in the doors and things like that. So to me, this car looks fantastic. It's got a little bit dirty since it was polished up and things like that. The inside that's like brand new in there. I got my nephew to give it a valet, took the seats out, and we gave them a good old clean, and it just looks a completely different car. This seat, I don't know if you can remember, everyone, you can go back a couple of videos and you can see the state of this seat. Basically it was black, couldn't really make out the pattern. It kind of got to the point where it started looking like leather because it had just gone shiny and smooth, and you just didn't want to touch it. But it looks like a completely different car. He's done a cracking job helping me out, because I've been that busy. I've been obviously driving this as well. Lovely to drive. A little bit of a noise on the driver's side front, possibly a shocker. But for me, it's not the end of the world. At the end of the day, it's an old car. So I think I left the MOT in here. What was that other advisory? There we go. Front subframe. Not seriously weakened. Brake pipe. Chip in the windscreen, which is hard to make out. We'll see what we can. That's that little guy there. Lovely to drive. Fantastic little example of a car. This is now up for sale. It's on Auto Trader for £995, and that's just basically just to keep it in that below the £1,000 bracket, because you pay more for your adverts. Above £1,000, so I thought I'd save myself a tenner. I've not done the number crunching, so I don't know what I have in it. I know it's not going to be a massive earner, but it wasn't the aim of the game really. The aim of the game was to save it from the scrapyard, give it a second life. I've got a couple of viewers booked on this already. I've just had somebody ring me. Look at how that boot's come out as well. Just had somebody ring me because I've got another Fiesta up for sale as well. So they wanted to see both of them. So I've got a viewing on this today and tomorrow. And I've had a little bit of interest in it already. So I'm fairly confident it's gonna go. I'm not really going to be moving on my price too much, because I think it's an extremely cheap car for what it is. We've even done a spare wheel for it as well, just to keep the job right and nice. So yeah, very happy with how this one's turned out. There's not really much else to say. This car, I haven't serviced it. I haven't done a timing belt on it. Quite simply because you can't. I know it did come with an oil and filter in it, but that got used on my other Fiesta that's up for sale, actually, to save myself a bit of money there, which is probably a bit tight because they don't cost a lot, but heck, it's free. Can't complain too much. But yeah, so this is how it's turned out. I'm very happy. I'm impressed with how it's come out. There's some little bits here and there, but for me it's perfectly acceptable. Yeah. Anyway, going forward, not too sure where we're going to be going in terms of content, because as I said, life is hectic at the minute. I've obviously just come through my first year of being self-employed. Bit disappointed I actually only sold 64 cars in that year, in that tax year. Not bad. I'd like to do better. So I'm very, very busy, very hectic at the minute. And obviously, as I've just said, my wife is now expecting our first child, you know, because I'm not busy enough. So we're both very excited, but again, there's a lot that goes into that. So obviously, with everything involved, YouTube's going to have to take go down the pecking order a bit more. I've also got, there's family members with illnesses and things like that that need a bit of help out, so yeah, I'm not too sure when my next video will be coming out. There will be one. It's just finding the time. I've barely got time to do my job, basically. It's just a struggle here and there and everywhere, but I'm going to do my best. I'm also trying to progress my business and move away from the really cheap cars like this, because I'm just finding they're just too much hassle. I sold a Ford Fusion beginning of this week, actually, and I paid £300 for it, and I think by the end of it, after spending money on getting it MOT'd and some other jobs and bits and pieces, I think I only came out, it's probably going to sound a bit greedy, but I only came out net profit before any sort of deductions was like £480. By the time you've deducted things like warranty, upkeep of the business, things like that, I think I only ended up bringing home £350. So it's not ideal. So I'd rather get into you tend to find a little bit more expensive cars tend to have a bit more room in terms of margin, because what you pay for these and what you can sell them for, the gap's so much smaller. Whereas I paid £200 for this car, it's going up for sale for £1,000. It kind of, the gap's smaller, whereas I've got other cars that are more expensive, but you can get them with a bit more of a gap to make money. So yeah, I don't know when I'm going to be getting my next car in like this that needs saving from the scrapyard. It could happen tomorrow, it could happen in 2 months' time, because scrap value for cars is waste of time at the minute. I know a lot of scrapyards in the area are actually turning cars away because it's not worth the time. So yeah, anyway, I've waffled on as usual for long enough now. Hopefully it won't be too long until I get my next video out, but again, can't really make any promises. So I hope you stick by us, and I hope to see you again very soon, and thank you for watching.